quick thoughts on this year's New York City mayoral race. On your screen is former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is the front runner so far in this race, the Democratic for the Democratic nominee, because our current mayor, Mayor Benson, aka Mayor Eric Adams, is running as a registered independent. So he would not have to worry about not even reaching the general election, because 9 times out of 10, either he would be battered and bruised coming out of the Democratic primary, or he probably would not even win the Democratic primary. So he is running as an independent. So that kind of gives him carte blanche and a free road to the general election this coming November. Now, we have a lot of candidates when it comes to the Democratic side. Where should I begin? Where should I begin? Okay, let's start with this guy. Matter of fact, since I'm on him, okay. The former governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, hails from Queens, New York, and is making a comeback bid for mayor. Facing a slew of scandals, he resigned in 2021 after serving for 10 years. He is described by many as a arrogant son of a bitch. He is described by many as a conservative Democrat, and he is accused by many as having blood on his hands during COVID, especially during COVID, for housing many of the New York State seniors and not segregating them to protect them from COVID, but actually allowing COVID patients to be housed in senior activities, therefore tripling or doubling certain casualties. Now, my 2 cents is this. Matter of fact, I'll give my 2 cents when I finish the rundown. Next, Zoran Mamdani, a Queens State Assembly member representing Astoria and Ditmars / Steinway since 2021. Mamdani is a Democratic Socialist originally from Uganda. Oh, word. So he must be familiar with Kamala. Kamala, you the Ugandan giant. But he's originally from Uganda. You know, he must be from the side that doesn't get a lot of sun. And he was raised on the Upper West Side. I swear, I'm full of shit. I mean, listen, I still wish I had the photo on hand right now. You have Kamala, you're the Ugandan giant. And if people remember how Kamala looked in his shade, and then you have Zoran, originally from Uganda, man, shoot. Difference is a difference between night and day, literally. Total eclipse of the heart. I digress. Mamdani, he has also pledged to freeze rent in his ads. Actually, that's all he says in his ads is, I'm going to freeze rent. I'm going to freeze rent. I'm going to freeze your rent. I'm going to make sure that your rent gets frozen. I am going to freeze your rent. That's all the fuck he says in his ads. So, guess what? You don't mess with the Zoran. You don't mess with the Zoran. I swear, if this would have been his ad, he probably would have. Well, listen. Tell you the truth, he is second amongst the candidates, and he's rapidly approaching and nipping at the heels of Andrew Cuomo. But if that would have been his ad, I'm quite sure he would be far and away the front runner.
Well, it was very cool.
I swear, I'm only putting that part because I ain't gonna mess around and get a copyright strike. You know, sure. I think it was like a couple seconds, so maybe I could get away with it. But yeah, don't mess with the Zoran. Don't mess with the Zoran. Don't mess with the Zoran. Next, Michael Blake, a reverend from South Bronx, 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 South Bronx. Blake served as a state assemblyman from 2015 to 2021 in the Bronx 79th district. He is a progressive Democrat. I repeat, a progressive Democrat. Yes, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Adrian Adams. Adrian Adams. Born and raised in Elmhurst, Queens. Listen, I'm starting to get a little pattern here. There's a lot of Queens heads running for mayor. Where my Brooklynites at? We're Brooklyner. We're Brooklyner. We're Brooklyner. We're Brooklyner. She hails. She hails. She hails. Matter of fact, where the hell does she hail? She hails and represents South Jamaica, Queens. I think so. Isn't that her? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So she represents South Jamaica, Queens. Oh, so she on she on 50 time. Well, I don't think I've seen an ad from her. Wouldn't it probably be in her best interest to get some of South Jamaica's finest to stomp the grounds for her? Like tell you the truth, this is probably so bad, but this dude right here, don't you know I had volunteers come to my crib yesterday? Had volunteers come to my crib, and damn, I think we ripped it up. But they gave us some paraphernalia for him, because I got some registered Democrats in my house, which I'm not amongst them because I am a registered independent. So I cannot vote until the general election. It's not fair, but anyway, yeah, she's what they describe her as, a progressive Democrat. Then we have Brad Lander, who I don't think I got his. Is that him? I don't know. It might be. If not, so what? Brad Lander, Brooklynite, by the way of St. Louis, the city controller. And to tell you the truth, I don't think that's him. But anyway, the city controller since 2022 in a career poll. Lander is a Brooklynite by the way of St. Louis, and he is a progressive Democrat. Now for the rest of the people who I have no pictures of. Jessica Ramos, born and raised in Elmhurst, Queens. Oh, so she got to be a Mets fan, right? Ramos is a state senator representing the Queens' 13th district since 2019. She is a pro-labor progressive Democrat. Blue-collar hero to the masses. She is not. Well, maybe she is, but I don't think so. Then we have Zelnor Myrie, not to be confused with Kyrie Irving. Zelnor Myrie of Brooklyn. We're Brooklyn at. He right here. We're Brooklyn at. Right here, dog. We're Brooklyn at. Right here, dog. A Brooklyn state senator since 2019, representing the 20th district in Crown Heights. Crown Heights, stand up. Stand the fuck up. Looks like I know where my vote would have gone if I was able to vote. I mean, sure. You got to vote for the world you know to help the world that you know, right? Isn't that how the saying goes? Anyway, Myrie is a native of the borough. That's right, native Brooklynite and a progressive pro-real estate Democrat. Pro-real estate Democrat. So does that mean he's pro-landlord or he's pro-renter? Pro-homeowner or pro-landowner? Hmm, interesting. Then we have Whitney Tilson, a former hedge fund manager originally from Connecticut. The Harvard educated Tilson is a conservative Democrat. She ain't winning. And last but not least, Scott Stringer, the city controller from 2014 to 2022. The longtime Pole was born and raised in Harlem. Really? Wow. I didn't know Stringer got down like that. Born and raised in Harlem? Oh, so he a diplomat for real. Okay. Though Stringer ran on a progressive ticket in the 2021 mayoral race, he's a tad more center this go around. So, in other words, he's making adjustments of, well, I tried to go this way. That shit didn't really work out for me. So I'm gonna just like lean, kind of nudge my way back to the center, so I can actually shoot the diamond down. Anyway, now my thoughts center around this guy. Centers around this guy right here. Just so I won't be at the. You know what? Just listen.
I know that's probably not a popular thing, but just based on the field, yeah, I just feel more confident in him than anybody else in the field. He got warts, but everybody got warts. If you dig deep enough. So yeah, that would be me. He's a big reason on why New York is the way it is and affordable to live. Another unpopular take. I'll also say this. Yeah, I mean, heel turn. Yeah, like I said, unpopular. Trust me, I wasn't the biggest Bloomberg fan, but like I said, whatever we had preceding him makes him look great. See, I can't vote this upcoming primary because I'm a registered independent, so I can't vote until November, which I found out the hard way when I was trying to vote for the Democratic primary for the presidential and so forth. And I relayed that story when it happened. That I was informed I couldn't vote because I have no party designation. But not only that, instead of just explaining it to me like that, they acted like I had leprosy, and and gave me the look like, oh, you thought you were so smart, huh? You one of those, huh? But yeah, so I really can't vote until the general election. So, but looking at the candidates, I mean, look, I'm not going Republican, but looking at the candidates, it's like, okay, do I really want in? Okay, while Trump is in office and all the policies that's going on and what have you, it actually two sides to the coin. One, do I want an inexperienced politician dealing with the matters of New York City while there's a trickle down effect from Washington? But also, let me continue. But also, we can't get some type of black backlash with the whatever petty feud the feud between Cuomo and Trump, because number one, as mayor of New York City, he has say, but he doesn't have as much power as he had as governor of New York. So I'm quite sure he'll know all the loopholes to get through, and I might be disproven, but looking back at the time of the pandemic, when the first outbreak, and looking back on that time of the initial months of the pandemic, I'm actually very grateful that we did have Cuomo in office and not someone else. Let's say we had Cuomo in office and not Hochul, for instance, because while whatever controversy is going on with the with nursing homes and everything, and the investigation they have with that, which is unfortunate, very unfortunate. It wasn't for the lack of trying. And also a lot of things he put in place during that time probably spared more lives than were lost in the long run, not so much the acute time of the initial outbreak.
I said that a couple of days ago during our correspondence in our group chat, and I figured it would probably be better for me just to play that than to try to rehash it and not get as detailed as I believe I was with that explanation. So that's my little tidbit on the New York City mayoral race. Because I got to get some jokes in, and even though I got a lot of jokes in at the expense of a lot of these candidates, I got to get some even more jokes in, because don't mess with the Zohan. If you think that was a little bit inappropriate, you ain't seen nothing yet.